Alrighty fanboys and fangirls, today we're gonna focus only on the Samsung Galaxy foldables, mostly the two upcoming foldables, the Z Flip 3 and the Fold 3. We got tons of news about them, so I'm gonna group them into one episode. Unfortunately, I couldn't combine the names in the title because that'd be way too confusing. But basically, we're gonna take a look at the foldable lineup and see what Samsung has in plans. So strap your PTAs, pits, tits, and ass, because this is gonna be a news-packed full of episode of Technoid, and you're not gonna wanna miss every minute of it. All that on today's episode, so stay tuned. YouTube, what's poppin'? Michael here, welcome back to Technoid. Hope you're doing well, hope you're all staying safe. Anyway guys, again, today's episode is going to be rich-filled only with Samsung because we got tons and tons of news about the foldables and I gotta get to them. So I decided to group the foldable and the Z Flip 3. I put them all into one video, so it's gonna be a little long, but there will be no need for timestamps because everything you're gonna hear in this episode is all about Samsung. Anyway guys, again, before we start the video though, I do disclaim, if you like the content, you enjoy what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications so you do not miss when I upload. And real quickly, want to thank Rogue Energy for sponsoring the channel. Again, our partnership is very, very deep. Check out Rogue Energy, link in the description. Find your next best healthy alternative energy drink, and there's tons of flavors to pick. All that out of the way, let's get it going. Alrighty, the main story is the Z Flip 3 and the Fold 3. Now, I don't know exactly why Samsung is calling the Flip 3 because there is no 2, unless of course you count the Z Flip 5G 2, I guess. I don't know. But it seems Samsung is going to be unveiling these products reportedly at the August event. Now, for a while, I've been saying it, and I've been saying it, that the Note is on its way out, and if these reports line up that these will be the August lineup, then it just kind of confirms everything we've known at this point. But taking a look at all the rumors, we're going to start with the Z Fold 3 and then we'll move on to the Flip because a lot of these news kind of intertwine with each other, so they're very similar, so I'm not going to really go back and forth, so I'm just going to keep it orderly. So starting with the Z Flip 3, the Z Fold 3, God, these names are such tongue hangers. Taking a look at the specs, there hasn't been much talking about it, but there are reports saying that the camera tech is going to get a big upgrade, most notably the Fold 3. Taking a look at the Fold 3, it says here that there is a report that there will be a 10 megapixel camera, a Sony IMX374 sensor, will be the phone's cover display camera on the front, a 16 megapixel camera, which again is an IMX289, and it will also be included on the front-facing camera when you unfold the design as the main display. On the back, you will be featuring a 3 12 megapixel cameras. Now, the source did not reveal what sensors Samsung is going to be using, but it's possible that both of them will have a main and ultra-wide unit that may be copied from the S21 lineup. Now, the camera tech on the phones will have reportedly an under-display camera. Now, this is a very, very wild rumor because I don't believe this part of the rumor because a lot of indications haven't given us this kind of indication. But I will say that if it does happen, this is the device to try to pull the trigger on if you are going to put under display cameras. But I personally don't believe that that's going to be the case. But if they do release an under display camera for the foldables, I could see this being part of it because it's already an expensive device, so you may as well try some more experimental features and see how they work out on the foldables. But on top of that, it does say that the Z Fold 3 will have an 888. It will include plenty of RAM and storage. The device is also expected to have a better build, which we will discuss in just a second. But the Z Fold 3 looks to be a big upgrade, mostly in the camera department. Everything else looks to be relatively similar. Then we take a look at the Flip 3. The Flip 3 is again going to be another follow-up to the Flip series. This time around, it is going to hint at some new colors coming, with green, black, beige, and light violet being options. There are reports saying that they will offer a future range of colors on top of the Fold as well. So there will be multiple different color options available at launch. This is the reports are saying. But taking a look at the specs of the Fold 3, it will again, of course, contain the 888 Snapdragon. It will have 5G built in. Some reports are saying that Samsung could be putting a new design on the Fold, basically saying that the Flip design will have a screen on the outside, and then when you open it up, it'll have a bigger interior. I don't kind of believe that either, but I'm not going to rule that one out because I do know there have been some smartphones that have a foldable design that do have a small display on the outside. And if all that Samsung's going to do is just increase it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, then I'm cool with that. But again, there isn't much information here about the Z Flip 3 as far as the colors go. In terms of the camera, there is a report that it will contain a triple camera setup this time around instead of a 2-camera setup, but again, not much information is known about that at this time. But now we get to the similarities of both of these devices, and that is the fact that they both are reported to have an IP rating. Now this is the main chunk of the story and what I'm going to focus on, but basically both the Flip and the Fold are reported to have a IP rating of dust and water. Now the foldables have done a pretty good job of coming a long way in terms of trying to keep dust out of the foldable hinge and also trying to keep these displays as tactical as possible. But one of the biggest challenges that Samsung has had is trying to keep these things durable and get consumers to really buy into the foldables. And while they haven't had much luck, they have been showing some good signs, but this is probably one of the biggest step forwards for the foldable, and I have been on record saying that if they do release the foldables with an IP and dust rating, they are finally going to be taken seriously. And the only reason I say that is because there's been a question of how long these things are built to last. Now, some reports say that you can go a full 2 years, they won't have no problem. Some users complain that it does break down after a while. Now, a lot of people do, hinder back and forth on what they feel works and doesn't work. But one thing is for certain, an IP rating kind of, how would I say, it would, I guess, would reestablish, or better term of words, it would reassure users that the product that you're going to use is basically going to be certified to withstand everyday wear and tear. And that's why I'm telling you guys, the IP rating is a big deal if Samsung can pull this off. Not only will you be able to have more convenience with your phone, but it validates the purchase of a foldable now. Sure, you can use it as a 2-in-1 tablet and phone and all that, blah, blah, blah. If it can't withstand dust from it getting in the hinge, and if it can't even withstand a drop of water, people are very skeptical. Now, again, the chances of you having your phone near a pool or a beach are very slim, but everyday use, using the sink, or better yet, when you're in the shower, let's say you leave your phone, or just by some miracle by the sink and some water gets on it. So these little things will help give better, if I say, securities to consumers when purchasing the device, so you know you have better grip. Now, there is no report of what IP rating it's going to be, but if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say IP67 or IP66, because these are relatively early reports. So if it does get IP68, that is going to really blow my mind. But to round it all off, the foldables are going to get a big overhaul this year, and I really think that they are poised to take the Note's place for those July and August events. Because for a while now, we've seen Samsung kind of head in a new direction. The Notes just do not hold up for what they once were. They are great devices, they do offer a lot, but the Ultra is poised to be the new Note, basically adding stylus support and of course being what the Note is, but except, blah, blah, blah. The point is this. The foldables are going to replace the Note at some point. I said it was last year, but Samsung proved me wrong. But this year I'm saying it again because now these foldables are starting to take their place with durability, IP build, but also taking a look at how many phones Samsung has in their arsenal. They're bound to drop the Note any day. Now, any of you Samsung fanboys that don't agree with this philosophy, let me put it to you this way. If Samsung didn't care about the Note, then why did they release a fan edition of the S series? Why did they make the Ultra premium pack? Or better yet, why did they push the foldables for another event last year? It's just all these little things kind of validate why the foldables are going to be a hit. And I think they are going to start to become a hit with that IP rating, camera upgrades, because now you validate the price a little better. But the Flip 3 and the Z Flip 3 are basically going to be the start of the push for foldables. And I can see a lot more manufacturers starting to go in this route should Samsung continue to pave the way. So I gotta give Samsung a lot of credit, and honestly, I never thought I'd say this, but I am actually considering the possibility of owning a foldable in the near future. I never thought I was going to say that, but now I'm considering it if Samsung goes through with the IP rating. If that happens, I will 100% consider a foldable, and I will go back to Android. So far, there are only 2 phones that might get me back to Android. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, and of course, now the future foldable if it has an IP rating. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts down below. And that's it for today's episode of TechNoid. Now guys, again, I gave you the news, had my own opinion. Now I want to hear yours. What are your thoughts on the event of coming up, and what do you think of these foldables taking the range of the Note. What are your thoughts? Let me hear them down below. Again, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, and peace!